Hello everyone, welcome to Learn Data Structures and Algorithm in Python course. Today let's see how we can solve this two-sum problem using Python dictionaries. So let's start. First, let's read the problem description. So you are given an array of integer called nums and an integer target. Return the indices of two numbers such that they add up to target. So here you can see, let's say there is a num given. This is an array, and you are given a target 9. So what you have to return first, you have to check if there are two such element that sum up with this target, then you have to return the indexes, right? Like when you look at this array, you can see there is 2 and 7. If you sum this two element, so the sum would be 9, right? Then you have to return what? The indices of these two elements. So indices of this 2 will be 0 and index of this 7 will be 1. So output will be 0 1, right? Now when you look at the next problem, so let's say num equals to 3 2 4, right? And the target is 6. Then here you will find two elements 2 and 4 that sum up with 6, right? 2 plus 4 equals to 6. Then you have to return the indices of 2, that is basically 1. Then index of 4, that is basically 2. Now what could be the brute force solution? Let's say the array is 3 2 and 4, right? And 4, and the target is target equals to 6, right? Now what is the brute force solution? How we can do? First, to solve this using brute force solution, what we have to do? First, we have to consider this first element, right? Then when we are at index 0, then we can compare with the remaining indexes, right? Remaining indices. Then when we are at this position, then we'll compare them with other, right? So we'll run one for loop, that I for I. Then inside that I, for each I, then we'll run another for loop, right? For let's say index j. So that's how we can do this thing. And time complexity of this approach will be O of n square, right? O of n square. Now let's see how we can solve this using Python dictionaries. So let's write the array 3 2 and 4, right? And the target equals to 6, right? Now let's think about different approach. Let's say I am taking a hash map or a dictionary, right? I'm taking a dictionary, right? I'm taking a dictionary. Now what I'll do, I will run a single for loop. I'll run one for loop. Then each for loop, what I will do, first let's say I'm at this index, right? I'm at this index, 0th index, okay? Then what I'll do, first I will check, let's say target equals to 6. Let's say target equals to 6 and the element is 3. Now what will be the complement of it? Means what to add with this so that target becomes 6. Let's say we have to make the target, we have to make the sum, that is basically equals to 6. Now the current element is 3. Now to sum up with 6, what we have to add? We have to add just target minus this current index, right? This current element. So here, if the element is 3, then what else element we need? We need 3 here, right? So then we have to check if this 3 is available in this array or not. That we have to do. So when we are at 2, then we have to search for 6 minus 2, 4 is present in this array or not. But when we look at this array, this will leads to another for loop that we don't want. Rather, what we'll do, we'll maintain a dictionary or hash map. Then what we'll do, first let's say we are at this index, 0th index, right? Then we'll we'll just store this thing inside this dictionary. So key will be the element itself, the value of element itself, and the value would be the index of this element, 0. So this is the key, this is the key, and this is the value. This is basically the element and this is basically the index. Okay, so this is done. Now for this element we are done. Okay, now when we at this index, at index 1, then what we'll check, we'll first calculate the complement of it. Let's say complement of this current index, complement of 2. What will be the complement of 2? It will be just target minus 2, means 6 minus 2 equals to 4. Now we'll check is if this 4 is present in this dictionary or not. So is 4 present in dictionary? No, right? Currently it is not present here, right? Then what we'll do, we'll just simply store this value as key, store this value as key, and this value will be the index, right? 1. Okay, so this is done. Now when we at this position, so we'll move our pointer, then I will be at this position. Okay, now for 4 also we'll find the complement here. So for 4 also we'll find the complement here. Now for 4, what will be the complement of this? It will be 2, right? So 6 minus 4 equals to 2. Now we'll check if this complement is present here or not. Is 2 present here in this dictionary? Yes, it is present here, right? And what is the value of it? It is basically 1, the index of this element. Now we can see that for this 4, there is one element present here, so that the sum of these two elements are basically equals to target. Then we'll return the previous element 1, the index of this element, and the current element, index of current element. So that will be our answer. Okay, now let's take this example 2, 7, 11, 15. Okay, let's say 2, then 7, 11, 15, right? And the target equals to 9, right? So let's try to diagram this. First we'll be at this index. Okay, so we'll take a dictionary. So for first we'll just put, so key will be the element and value will be index, right? So this is done. Now for the second element, what we'll do, for the second element, when we are at this element, what we'll do, we'll check first, we'll calculate the complement, right? So complement of 7 will be 9 minus 7, right? Target minus 7 equals to 2. Then we'll find, is 2 present here? Yes, right? 2 is present. Then what will return? We'll return 0, the index of this, and the index of current element 1. Let's say 7 is not present here. Let's say it is 17. Okay, so let's say it is 17, and this is basically 7. Okay, so this is 7. Now what will happen? Let's remove this. Okay, let's remove this and try to write down this. So first we'll store this 2 as key, and value will be 0, right? Value will be 0. Then we'll move to this index, it is 17. Then what will be the complement? Complement will be 9 minus 17. Okay, 9 minus 17, and what will be the value? It will be nothing but minus 8, right? Then we'll check if minus 8 present here. No, right? Minus 8 is not present. Then what we'll do, we'll just simply put this thing, so 17 as the key, and the value will be the index of this element, it will be 1. Done. Then we'll shift our pointer, then we'll just move our pointer to this index. Okay, now we'll check. So current element is 11, target is 9. Then what will be the complement of this 11? It will be 9 minus 11 equals to minus 2, right? Then we'll check for this minus 2. Is minus 2 present here? No, right? Because this is plus 2, this is not minus 2. So we are not finding anything, right? So then what we'll do, we'll just put this 11 as key, then and value will be the index of 11, and it will be 2, right? Done. Then we'll be at this index, will be at this index, right? Then the element is 7, then complement of 7 will be just target 9 minus 7 equals to 2. Then we'll try to find it. So is 2 present here? Yes, 2 is present here, right? Then what will return when we just get this answer? So we'll just return 0, the element also index of this element, and the index of current element, that is basically 3. So that will be our answer. Now let's see how we can write the program for this. So to write the program for this, first we have to take a map, right? Take a map or dictionary. Let's say that is basically dict1 or dict1 equals to take an empty dictionary. Now what is the next thing? We have to go through each element, right? We have to go through each element. For that we have to run a for loop for num in nums, right? Now when we are at particular element, what we have to find? We have to find the complement of it, right? So complement equals to target target minus this current number, right? So that will be complement. Then what is the next thing? We have to check the complement of this number is present in this dictionary or not. Then how to check? So how we can check if a particular number is present in a dictionary or not? So for that we use in, right? So if this comp is in this dict1, then what we'll do, we'll just immediately when we find that this complement is present, then when so immediately we'll return the value of it. So there will be two things, right? So if we find that this 2 is present here, then we'll return the value of this 2, right? For that we'll use an array, and that will basically return dict1 of this current complement. Okay, this is our first element, and the second element will be okay. So that will not actually work, we want index, right? So I make a mistake. So in spite of this, we'll just go through each index, right? For that we need n. So let's say take an variable n, and n is basically len of this nums. Okay, then we'll use for loop for I in range. So the previous method was wrong because we'll not get the index, right? So that's why I'm just taking I. So I is in range. Then for when we are at particular element, then what we have to do? We have to find the complement, right? So complement equals to target minus the current element. What will be the current element? Current will be num of I. Then we'll check if this comp is in dict1, right? Then what we'll do? We'll just immediately return this comp of this dict of complement, then comma the current element, right? And else what we'll do, if we don't find this element in this dictionary, so it will be dict1. So if we don't find this in the dictionary, then we'll just put this thing in dictionary, like that will be so dict1 of this num of I, and this will be the key element, will be the key, and the value will be I, right? And at last what we have to return, if we don't find anything, we can return anything. Let's say I'm returning -1 -1. Okay, now let's try to run this. Okay, you can see test case 1, 2 and 3 are passed. Let's try to submit it. Okay, now you can see This is submitted. So what is the time complexity for this algorithm? If you observe carefully, we are just running one for loop, right? We are just running one for loop. So time complexity for this algorithm will be O of n. And what will be the space complexity? We are considering a dictionary, right? So that's why the space complexity for this algorithm will be big O of n, because we are taking an extra space. So hope now you have understood the problem. So thank you. See you in the next lecture.